Ladies and gentlemen, the Guardians of Truth!
Truth Martini said faceless. Nigel, he wasn't kidding. Oh, wait a minute. Roll up, two, got it!
Martini must be furious.
Oh, he's got to be fuming. He's saying, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
He got him snatched up by his drawers. Throw him out into Midtown. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Watch out. Martini. The Guardians of Truth come to his defense. Face first, down goes Jay Briscoe. And the Guardians of Truth have done the damage. They saved Truth, they saved the Book of Truth, and they've left Jay Briscoe in their wake. From the Duburn's Arena on the shores of the beautiful Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland, welcome to Ring of Honor Wrestling. You just saw footage from Best in the World as the Guardians of Truth fought the Briscoes. The rematch kicks off action tonight, but our main event, Nigel, the rubber match between Canadian legend Lance Storm and the Prodigy Mike Bennett, alongside former ROH champion Nigel Mcguinness. I'm Kevin Kelly. We're a week away from Boiling Point in Providence next Saturday.
Yes, we are a week away, but tonight in this hour, we are going to hear from Kevin Steen's opponent for the Ring of Honor World title at Boiling Point, Chikara's grand champion, Eddie Kingston.
Wait a minute.
What's that?
Now look
there he
there.
is, Willy Wanker himself, the walking advertisement for birth control, Truth Martini.
Now we've got a new television champion. Adam Cole shocked the world, defeating Roderick Strong right here last week. We'll have highlights inside Ring of Honor.
The TV super duper King Kong mega managerial sensation and life intervention expert, but you can call me the one. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to change the face of professional wrestling with the faceless. I introduce to you the newest members of the House of Truth, the Guardians of Truth.
Well, here they come, shrouded in mystery, cloaked in secrecy. The Guardians of Truth were brought to ROH by Martini to eliminate the Briscoes. Now that they're here, there are new tag team champions in ROH, but Truth wants to get rid of the Briscoes to get tag team gold into the House of Truth. They're going to have to face Jack Daniels' violence in the form of them boys.
Let's go to Bobby Cruz. Well, Bobby Cruz doesn't have to do the introduction because Truth Martini already did it. Thank you for that. The faceless Guardians of Truth. They debuted at Best in the World. Their identity is a secret because of a reputation that they earned competing around the world. But you know what? Perhaps no team was happier than them boys from the All Night Express winning the gold. Of course, after the controversial loss to Haas and Benjamin at Border Wars, Briscoes would never face wrestling's greatest tag team for the titles again, but them boys need to get rid of Martini's Guardians of Truth first. Now, let's go to Bobby Cruz.
This tag team match is the best in the world. One rematch. It is the Ruin Ball. Introducing the opponents. Wrestling out of standing from Delaware at a combined weight of 463 pounds. Jay and Mark, the Briscoes.
So the seven-time tag team champions want another shot at the gold. And they come alive for them boys. Right now, let's go to the tail of the tape. where you can see it's all question marks for the Guardians. But you can tell by looking at them, they're slightly bigger than the Briscoes. And certainly the way Martini tells it, the Guardians of Truth have decades of experience and have fought all over the world. And Nigel, I think we can forget about the code of honor for this one.
Yeah, without a doubt, there's no code of honor needed. Take a look at the Briscoes, though. How could you not love these guys? Mark Briscoe, the only wrestler in Ring of Honor that has a blood alcohol level content higher than his GPA. And he graduated with a 3.4.
Well, now you get the pulling off one mask just to reveal another.
Mind games, Kevin Kelly. That's what's going on here.
So the Guardians of Truth will take on the Briscoes.
A couple of hulking, looming individuals, aren't they?
On a night where we will see the Prodigy Mike Bennett one-on-one against Lance Storm. Lance Storm returns to television for the first time in 7 years for a television match. Boiling Point this Saturday, Providence, Rhode Island, and already throwing the rule book out. These Guardians of Truth, they show great tag team symmetry at Best in the World, Nigel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've clearly teamed together for a long time, without a doubt. You just notice those things when you've been around wrestling for a certain amount of time. The fluidity, the tags, the in and out, just grounding your opponent down and keeping him in your corner.
Well, you know, I had a quick conversation with the Briscoes today. And they said, yeah, they were good. They hit hard. They're bigger than we thought they were going to be. We were ready for them in New York, and we're ready for them here tonight. Of course, the wrestling world still buzzing over Adam Cole becoming the new Ring of Honor World Television Champion right here last week. And what about Michael Elgin? You know, the House of Truth adding the Guardians of Truth here. Of course, they have Rhino. Elgin could have gotten involved, but for whatever reason, he stopped himself on the ramp. Didn't interfere. A lot of question marks about that. Unorthodox lateral press there from one of the Guardians of Truth.
Interesting, weird, yeah, didn't put any body weight on until there's a blind tag.
Watch out now, here comes Mark, crisscross.
Called blind because the Guardian had no idea what happened, couldn't see it.
How do they see through those masks where you can't see their eyes? It's
interesting.
Certainly you cannot read their emotions. Are they weak and wounded? Are their eyes glassy? Mark Briscoe, he don't care. The anthem of them boys, echoing throughout the Du Burns. Near fall scored on one of the Guardians of Truth.
These guys are smart.
They really, really are. Down set hike. Products of Laurel High School there. Wait a minute now, the other Guardian of Truth is in. Whoa! Some redneck kung fu and a one-arm spine buster.
Jay Briscoe may drink enough alcohol to kill a small horse, but he's no dummy.
Truth Martini trying to mobilize the troops here. Wait, Nigel, was that the same guy getting back in the ring, or did Truth Martini just orchestrate a switch of Guardians of Truth?
He may have done, I didn't know, I couldn't tell the difference myself. But that's a good call because look at that.
Ooh! Well, I think there's the answer to our question. It looks bad for the Briscoes against the Guardians of Truth, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we have got to take a commercial break. We'll be back right after this. Fans, it's Death Before Dishonor 10. It's live on pay-per-view Saturday, September 15th, starting at 7:30 Central Time from the Frontier Fieldhouse in Chicago Ridge, Illinois. Tickets are on sale now, plus pay-per-view information right now. Go to ROHWrestling.com. We'll have matches to announce in the weeks to come. Stay tuned for information. Go to ROHWrestling.com for all the details on Death Before Dishonor 10. But you know that all the stars are going to be gearing up for this one. And Jay Lethal, the clock.
Kelly, not to cut you off, but we only got 30 seconds. I got to tell Jim Cornette something right now. You need to stop looking left and right and look straight in front of you. Look at the man who is telling you that he will be the man to dethrone, if he's still champion at the time, Kevin Steen. The nightmare will be over. Jim Cornette, you are looking at Ring of Honor's next world champion. Mark my words.
We're back on Ring of Honor Wrestling. The Guardians of Truth continue to try to decimate the Briscoes. Mark Briscoe is in trouble. He kicks out at 2. And Nigel, throughout the commercial break, the Guardians of Truth absolutely were wearing Mark Briscoe out on the floor.
They certainly were, wearing them out like tanned leather. Just keeping on them, not letting them breathe, whipping them into that guardrail.
Creating tremendous distance between Mark and his big brother Jay, who's on the apron in the corner, frustrated.
I don't know whoever these guys are, but they're throwing the Briscoe out of the ring like they're the Funk Brothers.
Really pressing that double team advantage. Sinclair trying to get Jay back in the corner, and that's allowing the Guardians of Truth to work the double team here.
Funny, I just mentioned the Funk Brothers there, and it suddenly occurred to me, perhaps these guys came from Japan. Obviously, the Funk Brothers had a lot of great success over there. Maybe that's where they were found from.
Well, again, you know, Martini talked about the fact that the Guardians of Truth had competed all over the world. And I don't know, it could very well be, but they are a well-schooled team. You can tell. You can tell they're a veteran duo, veteran presence here, and providing a stern test for the Briscoes.
And again to the outside. I guess if the record ain't broke, don't fix it. Look at this.
Wait a minute, wait a minute! Stretched out, Mark crashing down. Mark Briscoe still trying to get a hold of Truth Martini. Gotta respect that guy's toughness. But will this do it? No.
But now the Guardians, I don't know who they are, but what they have to do now here is stop beating him up and try and beat him. 1, 2, 3, or make him submit. You've got the advantage, Guardians. Better take it now.
We will hear from both Kevin Steen and Eddie Kingston in the hour. Kingston's going to join us live. What a remarkable story for the Chikara Grand Champion, who will face Steen for the ROH World Title in Providence at Boiling Point next Saturday. It's going to be the biggest event in New England this summer. And we invite all the fans to join us as the National Guard, Rhode Island National Guard, presents Boiling Point. Look at Mark land on his feet, so elusive. Jay tagged in, and here we go. Tried to block the first one. Drop kick, and one of the Guardians of Truth is down, but watch out. Can never turn your back on these guys.
Watch out! Mark Briscoe likes to fly! Oh, I've never seen that.
Now up on the shoulders. Jay Driller. Excuse me, that was the Death Valley Driver. Froggy Bow, no!
Well, I thought that was a 3 count there.
Now calling for the Doomsday. Can they put the Guardians of Truth away in an hour where we will see Lance Storm go one-on-one against Prodigy Mike Bennett? Wait a minute, hold it now. Martini's up there, Nigel.
That pipsqueak on the outside.
This allows the Guardians of Truth. Oh, wait a minute.
Small package.
Roll through 2, got him.
Reach for the sky, boy. The winners of the match, the Briscoes.
So Mark and Jay Briscoe take the best punch the Guardians of Truth have to offer. But once again, just like in Best in the World, them boys get their hands raised, and now Truth Martini's got to answer for what he's done. Wait a minute now, wait a minute, Nigel.
Things breaking down again. Obviously, the Guardians not happy with that result.
They were there to say, well, hold it, hold it, hold it. Look out. Here comes Rhino. Here comes Roderick Strong. It's 4 on 2. I'll make it 5 on 2. Here comes Elgin.
I was going to say conspicuous by his absence, but taking his time.
Hold it. Look what Elgin just did. He just waved it off. Oh, look at that top rope leg drop. Michael Elgin wasn't about to join the party, but it's still 4 on 2.
Certainly enough to get the job done.
Oh, they are destroying the Briscoes here. Martini can talk about unity with Elgin all he wants, but when you got Roderick Strong, the Guardians of Truth, and the Man Beast, that might be as united as you need. Will somebody come out here and please put a stop to no, wait a minute. Here comes Adam Cole, Jay Lethal, Coleman and Alexander. Boy, and not a moment too soon.
Chaos erupting here in the De Burns Arena.
It's chaos here. This issue between the Briscoes and the Guardians of Truth not over. We'll be back.
Visit the online store at ROHWrestling.com for the latest Ring of Honor DVDs and official apparel. You can now purchase past and present live events and internet pay-per-views on DVD, featuring stars such as the American Wolf, Davey Richards, wrestling's greatest tag team, the Briscoe Brothers, Eddie Edwards, Jay Lethal, Roderick Strong, the All-Night Express, and many more. ROHWrestling.com also carries the latest in apparel, with t-shirts, baseball caps, and much more. For all your Ring of Honor merchandise needs, visit ROHWrestling.com today. Now, you can own the most talked about wrestling event in Toronto history, Border Wars on home video. See the ROH World title match between Davey Richards and Kevin Steen, the controversial tag title match with the Briscoes battling Haas and Benjamin, Lance Storm versus Mike Bennett, Eddie Edwards versus Rhino, Fit Finlay versus Roderick Strong, Jay Lethal versus Tommaso Ciampa, and more. The entire card in its entirety. Order your copy of Border Wars now from ROHWrestling.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Ring of Honor Wrestling. Still to come, our main event, the rubber match. Lance Storm versus the Prodigy, Mike Bennett. But Nigel, all eyes are pointing toward, and the heat is rising for boiling point this Saturday in Providence.
Right, without a doubt. And how desperate is Jim Cornette to get that belt away from the right waist of Kevin Steen? He's gone outside of Ring of Honor and has signed Chikara Grand Champion Eddie Kingston. We're going to hear from him live today, but before we do that, let's get comments from the Ring of Honor World Champion Kevin Steen and his zombie princess, Jimmy Jacobs.
Eddie Kingston, you and I are a lot alike, and I've said this before. You were also ran out of Ring of Honor for not, fitting the mold and walking the line. And in New York City a few months ago, I gave you a golden chance to join me and help me tear this place apart. But instead, you chose to come back, well, as a hypocrite. But hey, you're from New York City, so why should I expect anything else from you? Instead of coming back and raising as much hell as you could and making these people sorry for ever getting rid of you, you came back and tried to conform. And now you think that you're going to come to Providence, Rhode Island and take this away from me? Buddy, the only thing that's going to happen in Rhode Island is I'm going to kick your ass and then send you back to New York so that you could go cry to your fake family.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time faces Kevin Steen for the Ring of Honor World title on August 11th in Providence at Boiling Point. He is the Chikara Grand Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Kingston.
You heard the introduction there from Kevin Kelly, legitimately one of the toughest men ever in professional wrestling, Eddie Kingston. He was banned from Ring of Honor competition a couple of years ago, but now is on the verge of being not only the first ever Chikara Grand Champion, but also the Ring of Honor World Champion. And that would make Jim Cornette a very happy man.
Eddie Kingston, I got one question for you. What does redemption mean to Eddie Kingston?
Redemption. Redemption to me is being the Ring of Honor World Champion. Get out the ring, Kev. For 10 long, hard years, I have struggled to become a world champion. For 10 long, hard years, I have hurt everybody in my family. I have hurt women who I loved to become a world champion. To chase a dream. On August 11th in Rhode Island, I will have my opportunity. You know what? Come here. I see this. See my eyes? I live behind these. For 10 years I struggled. For 10 years I've cried and laid awake in bed at night wondering, why do I do this? Why do I sacrifice? Well, you know what? On August 11th, when I win that world title, I'm going to show it to my mother and father who said, what are you, an idiot for getting into wrestling? And I'm going to show it to them and show the proof is in the pudding. I'm going to show it to my ex-wife who I left to stay in wrestling. And I'm going to tell her, sweetheart, I still love you, but this is what it was for. And then the two most important people. Number one is a man who passed away last year, Larry Sweeney, who I considered my brother. He died without becoming a world champion. When I win that title from you, Kevin Steen, I'm going to say a prayer to him and tell him I did it. And the last person, the most important person, is my son. And I'm going to tell him, no matter what you go through, no matter what struggle you go through, if you sacrifice and if you fight, you can live your dream and be anything that you want to be. Those, Kevin Steen, are the truest words I've ever spoken. So on August 11th in Providence, Rhode Island, God is my witness. I will go through hell and spit in Satan's face to become world champion. Because I am Eddie Kingston. I am last of a dying breed. And I am your next Ring of Honor world champion.
Will the dream come true in Providence? We'll find out. We'll come right back.
More Ring of Honor Wrestling is just a click away. Get involved, get informed, and get social. Visit ROHWrestling.com for past and present videos, new ROH merchandise, and information on how to become a ringside member. Follow ROH on Twitter for up-to-the-minute info on Ring of Honor wrestlers and live events. And don't just follow, become part of the conversation with the official ROH Facebook page and interact with fans from all around the world. Join the ROH social revolution anytime from anywhere. Ring of Honor. This is wrestling.
Shelton Benjamin suspended. The embassy explodes. We've got a new world television champion. Things are headed for a boiling point. We've got all that and more tonight inside Ring of Honor. For weeks, there have been rumors of collusion between Prince Nana and Truth Martini that was intended to keep Tommaso Ciampa away from Roderick Strong's TV title. What part the barrister R.D. Evans played in all this is unclear. Last week, Ciampa demanded to know the truth, and Nana became the fall guy.
Tommaso Ciampa,
What the hell is he?
he's got Prince Nana and R.D. Evans snatched by the collar.
You must think I'm pretty stupid. I have a lot of questions, but I don't have many answers.
I always tell my House of Truth members the absolute truth.
Was there collusion?
Tell them about our deal.
What?
What deal, Mr. Prince Nana?
Mr. Ciampa, please, hear me out. I am renowned for my honesty. If you can trust anyone, it's me. In the interest of full disclosure between attorney and client, I think it's time that you know the truth.
I would love that.
It was all Nana. I told him not to do it. I told him not.
Hold it!
Wait a second!
You listen to me! You listen close!
Everybody's throwing Nana under the bus!
Demasiado Immortal!
What? What did he just say?
I don't know, couldn't catch all of it. Something immortal!
We have got to make some sense out of this. This man is out of his mind. Hey, Ciampa's scheduled to wrestle next. What's going to happen?
I told him not to. Come on, dude. I told him not to. Mr. Ciampa.
Details are sketchy, but it appears as if R.D. Evans has remained on good terms with Ciampa, and he has assumed Tommaso Ciampa's contract and plans on representing the Sicilian psychopath going forward. Last week, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin had demanded to meet the new World Tag Team Champions, Kenny King and Rhett Titus, the All Night Express, face-to-face in the ring. King and Titus were more than happy to oblige.
You know, you had your little feel-good moment, but it's time for you to face reality. What you did at Best in the World can't go down as a win. How can you look at yourself? How can you wake up in the morning and call yourself champion? Name a date and a place for us to regain our World Tag Team Championship, or you can do the smart thing, hand those titles back over to us right now.
If you give the All Night Express a choice to run or fight, we will jump in all night.
Whoa, 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 whoa. There ain't gonna be no match tonight because those titles aren't on the line. It ain't sanctioned.
They're not going to fight them unless those belts are on the line.
Hey, Baltimore! Now that we got rid of World's Oldest, it's time to get back to...
Wait a second! Charlie Haas jumping straight on Rhett Titus, but Kenny King now coming. Wait! Oh no! Kenny!
Hitting another man over the head with a chair has been banned in ROH, made a $5,000 fine, and this is Benjamin's second strike. He has been suspended indefinitely as well as fined and has been warned a third strike will lead to termination. Last week's TV program also saw a celebration as a new TV champion was crowned.
Strong and cold, television title is on the line. Hold him!
Oh.
Wait a minute. Adam Cole just a few weeks removed from that horrific injury. Now up on the shoulders, here comes Double D Gutbuster. Yes, indeed. Delivered. Will this do it? No! Cole won't give up. Gibson driver. Whoa, what a counter by Cole. Ooh, Nigel. Look at Martini swinging that Book of Truth, coming up empty. And now Cole's got him snatched by the wig.
Yeah! Winnie Wanker to the outside.
Now look at Elgin. Elgin's down here. Is Michael Elgin having second thoughts about getting involved? He's hit it! Mornikey, bridge, two, got it!
Wow, I'm excited. The people here are excited. Truth Martini, he ain't excited though.
He's certainly not. Well, the era of Adam Cole as television champion begins.
For our fans in New England and upstate New York, remember that ROH's big summer event, Boiling Point, is next Saturday, August 11th at the Rhode Island Convention Center in Providence. For the ROH World Championship, Eddie Kingston will challenge Kevin Steen. Will Kingston end Steen's reign of terror? For the World Tag Team title, the Briscoes challenge new champs, the All Night Express. Boston natives diehard Eddie Edwards and the Prodigy Mike Bennett collide, but this time in a mixed tag team match. Edwards teams with Sarah Del Rey, while Mike Bennett brings Maria Kanellis, who is the true First Lady of ROH. With Shelton Benjamin suspended, Charlie Haas will now go one-on-one with Michael Elgin. Tommaso Ciampa gets his rematch from Border Wars against Jay Lethal, and much more. For tickets and info, go to ROHWrestling.com. Next week, fans, our main event will be Kevin Steen, Jimmy Jacobs, and Steve Corino in six-man tag team action against Jay Lethal and the All Night Express. We'll have that and a whole lot more next week inside Ring of Honor. Fans, it's Death Before Dishonor 10. It's live on pay-per-view Saturday, September 15th, starting at 7:30 Central Time from the Frontier Fieldhouse in Chicago Ridge, Illinois. Tickets are on sale now, plus pay-per-view information right now. Go to ROHWrestling.com. We'll have matches to announce in the weeks to come. Stay tuned for information. Go to ROHWrestling.com for all the details on Death Before Dishonor 10. But you know that all the stars are going to be gearing up for this one.
Truth Martini, it's all about Death Before Dishonor.
Jim Cornette has a problem, but I have the solution. He wants Kevin Steen leveled. So let me introduce you to the Gore.
I will take any man out for the right amount of money. Jim Cornette, you want Kevin Steen taken out? You pay this man. Kevin, you know what I'm capable of doing, and I will make you wish you were never born because I will rip you in half with a Gore, Gore, Gore. Suffer.
We are back on Ring of Honor Wrestling. It's time for our main event, the rubber match between the Canadian legend Lance Storm and this man, the Prodigy, Mike Bennett.
They've split the first two battles, Bennett winning in Florida, Storm in his home country of Canada. Now tonight on free broadcast TV, these two will settle it once and for all. If either Brutal Bob or Maria play a role in the outcome, it would be a shame for Storm's career to possibly end in such a fashion.
Yeah, a lot of speculation about this indeed being Lance Storm's last match. And of course, Bennett faces, Bennett's got quite a challenge, Eddie Edwards and Sarah Del Rey, Maria, Bennett, mixed tag, Providence.
Oh, look at that.
You know, Maria's been haunted with the images of Sarah Del Rey. But here he is, perhaps for his last ride.
There he is, one of the most decorated and respected wrestlers of our generation. Lance Storm came back to Ring of Honor because he saw great talent in Bennett, but also great disrespect. And after a loss in Florida, but a win in Toronto, Storm looks to prove his point here on TV.
Let's go to Bobby Cruz.
This is your television main event. It is set for one fall, and it is the rubber match. Introducing first to my left, be accompanied by his trainer, Brutal Bob Evans, and the First Lady of ROH, Maria Kanellis. Wrestling out of South Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 222 pounds, the Prodigy, Mike Bennett.
Chewing his gum, cocky, arrogant sneer in his face.
His opponent to my right, wrestling out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing 230 pounds, Lance Storm.
7 years since his last match on television, Lance Storm's return here to the Duburn's Arena, the rubber match between he and Mike Bennett. Let's go to the tail of the tape, where you can see they are evenly matched physically, but Storm at the age of 43, that number looms large, but so does his experience edge. The question is, will Storm have the legs to pull through in crunch time? We know that Storm adheres to the Code of Honor, and Bennett has made it a habit of adhering to the code in quite a condescending fashion. But after what these two men have been through, Nigel, I don't know if it's going to be about shaking hands. It's going to be about proving a point.
Yeah, that's a good call, but still I'd like to see a Code of Honor. Unfortunately not. Maybe after the match.
Of course, at their first matchup in Florida, Bennett got the victory, offered Storm his hand at the end of it, but then flattened the legend. Storm didn't take too kindly to that. Now they go face to face, and then, of course, Storm wanted the rematch at Border Wars in Toronto, and it was a very controversial outcome. Storm wound up victorious. A steel chair was involved. There was even a Canadian referee, Jimmy Corderas. And Bennett, of course, boy, he had an instant axe to grind. Home cooking, home country, crooked ref, steel chair, and he wanted the rubber match. So that's what we have here in our main event.
Get them all! Get the hell out of here! Come on, Kurt, you already lost this one.
I wonder how important experience is going to be in this one. You know, they both fought each other on one occasion or two occasions altogether. And that gives you the opportunity to sort of feel your opponent, to know exactly what he's going to do before he does sometimes.
Now the idea of, I think the first match at Showdown in the Sun between Storm and Bennett, we questioned openly about, the mind was willing, but would the legs be weak? With Storm at 43, and as the match wore on, yes indeed, you could tell that age started to take its toll, but I didn't get that feeling at Border Wars. I have a feeling Lance Storm may not have been letting us in. I think maybe he really upped the conditioning. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely could have done that. You know, I'm sure he would have watched the tape back of the first encounter, tried to see the errors he made, tried to plan a better strategy, and I think that's going to be a big part in this match, with strategy. And in my mind, that favors Lance Storm.
And of course, Mike Bennett, who has his head, you know, in the clouds a lot of times, we say, but he's a tremendously talented wrestler. He's got aspirations for Hollywood. He's made no secret about that. But I think he wants to be a Ring of Honor World Champion. I'm surprised that Jim Cornette hasn't asked him. Wait a minute, going for it right here.
Grabbing hold of that leg and trying to turn him over, but Bennett just too much power, too much energy. No way he's going to let him turn that over to a single leg Boston Crab.
So Bennett, well aware of the power and the prowess of the single leg Boston Crab. Calgary native, legend, beautiful Maria looking on. I wonder what she's going to feel like after Providence, after that mixed tag. Diehard Eddie Edwards and Sarah Del Rey against the Prodigy and Maria. Oh!
She's going to be losing sleep over that one, right? Man. I've seen Sarah Del Rey beat up men twice the size of Maria.
Full slam, center of the ring.
Lance Storm's really interesting case study in professional wrestling and sports in general. He's still in fantastic shape.
Cover.
Still certainly believes he can compete with the best here in Ring of Honor. But eventually, Father Time will catch up with you.
Speaking of Father Time, Brutal Bob Evans outside the ring. Lateral press, what a great drop kick from Storm and a near fall scored.
Yeah.
Storm spends a lot of time, of course, very accomplished writer, training students.
You know, Bob Evans, he's so old, his social security number is 1.
Poor Bob. Irish whip into the corner.
And that turned the tides of things here. But are we going to see Father Time have an effect there? Look at this. Setting him up a la Bret Hart there. Just wearing him down and try and get that submission. Just keeping on going.
Elbow drop right to the center of the chest.
Now to draw parallels from other sports, 1 second. 2. Randy Couture. Father Time caught up with him. Muhammad Ali, same thing. What effect are we going to have that take here with Lance Storm? I'd hate to see him turn out the same way as Muhammad Ali.
And of course, we've seen a lot of great athletes over time have found their golden years to be quite productive, but they adapt, they find other ways to contribute.
Look at me.
Well, of course.
I just realized, you know, I mean, I do not want to be in there against a guy like Bennett. He's arrogant and is full of bravado, but is still very dangerous and very capable to injure you.
And certainly, Nigel, while, of course, you know, the drop kick missed there. Storm, follow up, roll up, shoulders are down. I think the situation with Storm, with you, it was always competition at such a high level. And there was no, you know, in Nigel Mcguinness matches, there was no second best. There was no give it a try. It was win at all cost.
Absolutely, and the thing for me in Ring of Honor, it was always about the best in professional wrestling, and I felt like if I couldn't compete at that level, let the guys that can carry on.
Oh, wait a minute now. Dangerous territory here. Was Lance Storm going to suplex the Prodigy out to the floor?
Looked like it.
Well, now they stand toe-to-toe. Right to the eyes. Desperation time for Bennett. Oh, no! The Prodigy, Mike Bennett, just threw Lance Storm into the barricade and nearly decapitates him with a clothesline. Both men are down. We have got to take one more break. We'll take it now. Fans, we'll be back. Storm Bennett 3 continues in 2 minutes. We're back on Ring of Honor Wrestling. Lance Storm, Mike Bennett continue. what could be the final chapter in this epic trilogy. Storm down, is it over? No! But throughout the commercial break, Nigel, Bennett continued to pour the pressure on the back that was severely damaged, desperately threw Lance Storm back first into the barricade, then clotheslined him off the apron.
And if we can take a look there, if you just keep watching your monitor, you'll catch a shot of the side, right on the ribs there.
2
of Lance Storm, where he was thrown into the guardrail. There's a red mark there all the time through the intermission. Bennett keeping the pressure on those ribs, those intercostal muscles, making it ever so difficult to breathe.
And that red-headed vixen, Maria, loving what she's seeing. Can Bennett put Lance Storm away?
There it is. It's actually almost starting to bleed. You see underneath that left lap.
Shoulder first to the iron. Goes the legend Lance Storm. You could clearly see it there on his side. A huge welt. But the damage inside could be more telling. Great shot there. All from that barricade.
Oh! Picking him apart like he's a rotisserie chicken. Oh! There goes the wing.
Storm is down. Bennett closing in, measuring, cover, 2, didn't hook the leg, Nigel.
No, textbook error there, but sometimes in the heat of battle.
Fans throughout New England, upstate New York, Boiling Point this Saturday. Providence, Rhode Island, world title on the line, Kevin Steen against Eddie Kingston. And a whole lot more, ROHWrestling.com for tickets and information as Lance Storm is back on his feet. This legend won't die. He continues to fight on against the Prodigy, Mike Bennett. Bennett center cross. Shoulder breaker there.
Right on that arm, and we didn't mention it earlier, but I think we should. That left arm.
Wait a minute, 2.
That left arm of Storm, he's wearing a bandage over that. I don't know whether that was an issue. You know, we talked in the past about Eddie Edwards injuring his arm in training. Perhaps there was an injury. Oh! Coming into this.
Certainly now is the focus for Mike Bennett. And that man right there, Brutal Bob, certainly has taught his protege, the Prodigy, quite well. Sadistically picking apart a body part, staying on it, staying focused until you can own it. So Storm maybe now just with one good arm, trying to fight back. Big looping right hand there from Bennett, and one in response from Storm.
Bennett has to feel like he's got the advantage here in terms of strength and wind. Whoa!
Wait a minute, counter! Almost had him with the cradle.
I was going to say Storm's got the advantage with technique, and we just saw that right there with the small package.
Cover, 2.
Again, did not hook that leg. It's an error in my book, Kevin.
Continuing to work on the left arm. Next week, great action. Jay Lethal, the All Night Express, will face Kevin Steen, Jimmy Jacobs, and Steve Corino in 6-man tag team action. That's next week, right here on Ring of Honor Wrestling. But what can Mike Bennett do to put Lance Storm away? Hadn't been able to put him down and out for good yet.
In my mind, you've got to keep aggressive. You've got to, don't let him breathe.
The Enziguri stepped up and nailed it. And now both men are down.
Certainly getting a chance to breathe. Look at this, though. Smart grabbing a hold of him straight away.
To the cover, 2 only. Well, you pointed that out perfectly, Nigel. Sensed that Bennett was right behind him. Grabbed the leg instinctively. Got Bennett over on his back. Got a near fall. Wait a minute, dangerous. To the iron. To the turnbuckle on the outside of the ring.
Oh, and again into those ribs. Now the right side. You got to think, if both sides of your ribs are injured, you can't breathe. And if you can't breathe, you can't wrestle.
And especially, as we talked about, Lance Storm at 43 years of age needs every ounce of oxygen he possibly can. How much more will he be able to endure? Storm counters the suplex attempt.
Oh, listen to the sound of that. Close on him over the top. And there's more to this than just about who wins and loses. This is about a man who has given his life, for his dream of being a professional wrestler.
Storm went for broke, crashed and burned. 2 only.
And you want to see him go out with pride, win, lose, or draw. You want to see him go out with his head held high, not taken out on a stretcher.
Well, with Bennett putting the bad mouth on him, now Lance Storm starts to fight back. And these two men, they slug it out. They're exhausted. Barely can get back to their feet, but they stand toe-to-toe in the center of the ring in the Duburn's Arena.
Leg lariat, and wait a second.
Is it enough? Could it be? No.
Just 2. But what a miracle of athleticism we're seeing here from Lance Storm, 43 years old. And hanging with this young buck in the ring now.
Look at the spring in his legs as he flies and scores a clothesline. Bennett's shoulders are down, the leg is hooked. Oh, it was just that close.
I can do a springboard clothesline at 23, let alone 43.
Maria's expression has changed from one of confidence to one of concern. Another overhand right from Bennett. Look at this.
Wait a second.
2. Oh!
Tried to spin underneath, but wait a second.
And now, using Storm's own hold, the arrogance, the indignation.
Irony, without a doubt, but wait a second, he's turning underneath. If anybody knows a way out of that hold, it's Lance Storm.
Sit out. 2. No! Bennett desperately ripping his shoulder from contact with the canvas.
And now, Kevin, this is the time where age really starts to play a factor. Where Storm has to dig down deep and realize how much more has he got left in the tank. I don't know.
Here he is now up on the shoulders. Trying to put him away, couldn't do it. Going for the photo finishes, Bennett.
There he is!
And the single leg, busted crab.
He's doing his best to hold that hold. He just can't put his hands together, but he's too close. He's too close, he's gonna get to the ropes.
Whether the legs are exhausted or the arm screaming in pain. Storm couldn't get all of that single leg Boston Crab, but now putting Bennett on the top rope. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Absolutely, Bennett jumping up.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a second, what's that?
Look at that skunk Brutal Bob.
Ugh.
Preventing. Oh! Gets caught, neck breaker all the way down. No, I was just about to say that'll do it.
And that would have been a very unfortunate, ignominious end to this match, which is rapidly becoming a classic. Wait a second.
Hold it now. Maria is up on the apron, on the shoulders. What has Brutal Bob done? There is a steel chair in the ring. The photo finish on the steel chair.
On his ribs, that's gotta be it.
Turner never saw it. That son of...
The winner of the match, the Prodigy, Mcguinness.
I hate to see that, Kevin. Is that it? Is that the last match we'll ever see of Lance Storm on television?
Well, he's been flat, crushed. Wait a minute now, they don't have to bully the man, Nigel. They've already beaten him, and now they're dragging him up. Oh, look at Maria. She's got that boot in her hand again.
Show some respect. She was even trained by the man.
She is the devil. Wait a minute. Look out. From behind. Sarah Del Rey.
Oh.
One kick. Maria's down. She's got it hooked in.
Screaming in pain.
Tapping. Oh, watch out, Eddie Edwards! Heating up on the road to boiling point. Unbelievable saga, the trilogy between Bennett and Storm complete next week. Jay Lethal and the All Night Express. Meet Kevin Steen, Jimmy Jacobs, and Steve Carino. For Nigel Mcguinness, I'm Kevin Kelly, and we'll see you then.